Hey folks, we are going to dive right in and do our quarter 3 root words. And our first video is just going to cover prefixes and suffixes. And then we're going to go over the root that we're going to be using for this unit. Let's dive right in. The goals of this lesson are to explain what a root is and where root words usually, but not always come from. You will be able to define the words prefix, suffix, and affix. You will be able to identify the meaning of the prefixes and suffixes that we're using in this unit. And then finally, you're going to identify the meaning of this unit's root, which is cred. Okay, let's make this happen. So, what is a root? Okay, you're thinking the root of a tree grows into the ground, gets it water, nutrients, all that. Okay, it's related to this idea, but no, that's not the kind of root we're talking about. The root is a word part. It usually comes from ancient Greek or ancient Latin. It has a meaning, and it isn't usually a word in English that can stand by itself. Some of them can, but a lot of them can't. Like, you can't just throw out this word part just because it has meaning and expect it to make sense. So, prefixes and suffixes. A prefix is a little word part. It goes at the beginning of a word, and then it adds to or changes the meaning. And then suffixes are nearly the exact same thing. A suffix is a little word part that goes at the end of a word, and it adds to or changes the meaning. Both prefixes and suffixes are types of affixes. Okay, so a prefix is an affix, and a suffix is an affix. There's another type that we don't use in English, so we're not going to learn it. So all you need to know is that prefixes and suffixes are both affixes. Affixes is the generic word for a little word part that you add to a word. All right, let's look at prefixes for this unit. And our prefixes for this unit are very, very easy because they both have the same meaning. So let's get into it. In or im means not or opposite. So think of the word impossible. Okay, something is possible, that means you can do it. If it's impossible, then it's not possible. Okay, in and im, even though they're spelled differently, they're kind of the same thing. So just keep these lumped together in your mind. In can also have another meaning, but we'll get to that some other time. All right, and then dis also means not or opposite. Okay, so if I am displeased, I'm not pleased. Now, I could say I am impleased, and it would have the same meaning, but that doesn't go with that. So even though these have the same meaning, you can't just like throw them onto the front of every word and have it work. Okay? But you can, if you see it at the beginning of a word, then make good guesses about what that word might mean. All right, let's go on to suffixes. And all three of our suffixes that we're doing this unit change the part of speech of a word, okay? And they do it in certain ways. So our first one, tion, it turns words into nouns, all right? Remember, nouns are people, places, things, ideas, okay? And it means the act or process of something, okay? So I think of the word action, that it's a noun, okay? There was a lot of good action, right? And good is an adjective that's describing the noun action. It's the thing. Act is the thing you do, right? That's the verb. So action is like the act or process of acting or doing in this case. Or a more complicated example would be like hydration, all right? Hydration is the thing you do. The verb, the word that you would use if you were doing it, is hydrate. So you could say, I always hydrate before a soccer game. Or you'd say hydration is important before a soccer game. So if you see a tion or ation word, it's a noun. It's an act or process. All right, or er, these are also nouns. And it means someone or something who does something. Okay, so let's keep going with act that we used earlier. An actor ACTOR is someone who acts. A computer is something that, and I guess you wouldn't use who here, you'd use something that computes. Okay, a doctor is someone who, and in this case, they do some other stuff, but OR and ER usually are someone or something that does something. A teacher teaches. A swimmer swims. Okay, OR, ER, someone or something who does something. And our last one is OUS. And this turns words into adjectives, into describing words. So I might say tremendous or fabulous, right? These are all words that can describe nouns. They can describe people, places, things, or ideas. So these are the three that you're going to have to know. You're going to have to know what part of speech they turn things into, and then like the little added bit of meaning. Because these two are both nouns, but they have different meanings. And then our last little bit is the meaning of our root word, okay? The root word cred means believe. So if you see something that has cred in it, that means that somewhere way back in the history as our language was being built, somehow this word came from the idea of believing something. Okay, we'll get into the details once we do our specific words. All right. Your next step is to do the root words 1 check on Schoology. It's prefixes and suffixes check. All right. Any questions? Talk to your teacher or teachers. Have a wonderful day.